it's Jeffrey with Real Nifty Vintage, and let's do a basement tour video. Right now we're looking at the stairwell, and originally this was going to look a lot different. I always envisioned a really unique handrail, so that is pretty much what I wanted all along, but I originally wanted to have that paneling, that honey-colored paneling on that gray wall right there as well. And the idea was that what would happen is that the brown stairs would look like they were floating because they would be the only darker colored horizontal things in the mix. You'd have vertical panel here, vertical panel on your risers right along there, and then vertical panels back here. The problem was that this is a concrete wall. It is the wall that, you know, is what the basement's made out of, so it's not straight. The paneling was glued. It was attempted to be glued onto this wall, but it ended up buckling. It was like a week or two after we stuck it on that wall, and so we decided just to pull it off and try to make it work with some paint. So as the stairs are right now, it's probably 90% done. You know, there is some touch-ups to do. There's some caulking to do in some areas. These corner pieces right there, they need to be stained or at least varnished to blend in with the more golder colored paneling. I got some touch-up work up there to do. But other than that, this is the finished look, essentially. I will eventually put some pictures maybe along here as a collage, but I want to go a little bit closer up so we can look at this handrail. It's done on an angle. There's the dog. It's done on an angle and it just comes right down. This is a mitered board here running into that, and then it goes like that. And this is done this way to save material. The other way would be to have a angle coming right through here, but you would be losing material on both pieces, probably a good 3 or 4 inches. So this is the way that it was done. This piece here is just butt up right against that piece. What I wish could have happened with this board here is it looks all right, but when you're coming down the stairs from the top, you have a raw edge right here. And what I envisioned originally was that there was going to be a return. So this would be cut on a miter, which just means it's hard to describe. It's angled, so, and then there'd be another piece right here that comes out, and it makes a nice little corner. So you would not see this, and this would not be a raw edge, but it would be this material here on this side, and it would be angled and cut in there nicely, and it would look more, what's the word? I forget the word. It would look just all together. It would look custom, more custom. It's okay with the way it looks right now. This is just I believe 1x6, and that's all it is, 1x6 oak. And then the treads are also oak. So this is the stairwell looking down. Minor touch-up work to do. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and go back down. So we ended up doing plaster walls. I did not do them. We had somebody else do them. I did the drywall, and I did the studding, which is all of the wood that you don't see that makes up the wall. And so the guy did this nice, I think it's called a random pattern. It's not a fan, although sometimes it looks like a fan, but you might see some slight texturing in here, especially on the ceiling. There's some slight fanning, but it's literally a figure 8 pattern that's just repeated all over the place. And it makes this nice highlighted pattern. So I'm really happy with the plaster job. It's ceiling and that. I painted this green, mint green stripe along this wall here, and the reason is because right across from it is this bar area, and the same green stripe is picked up over here, and it also is picked up in the bar, the bottom of the bar. I built this little kick wall right here so that it ties the bar together. Originally, this bar came with the house, but it was not this color, but it was right there. And that wall right there is actually the base of our marble fireplace upstairs. This is the foundation for that. So it's about an 11-foot fireplace right upstairs, and it has a see-through fireplace. And then on this end over here, but up there, there is a built-in stove that faces the kitchen. So I found these really cool stickers. They're paper cutouts on eBay, and I think I paid about $20 for them, but they are vintage from the 50s. They are just different ice cream items that a diner would have up on their walls. So I was able to get those, and I used this sticky tack to put them up. So the bar did come with the house, but it was originally yellow. It was like a yellowy, this is vinyl, what you see is green is vinyl. And that was a yellowy kind of splotched pattern. And it is sewn with all the stitching too, as an added bonus. But I was just not really a fan of the yellow. There was also a basket weave laminate on top of here. The laminate's still here, however, it just looked really worn and really dated, and not dated in a good way. So I decided to sand it down really well, and then we painted it with some of the same exact paint that we used on the floor, but without the stuff, because that's optional. So we put that on the top, and there is minor cleanup work to do on here. I need to clean some of this silver edging, but other than that, it's pretty much the way that it's going to be. So I'll back up and give you a look of the bar area. Oh, and we put these really cool lights in right above the bar. These are mini, they're new, they're mini pendant schoolhouse lights. So an older school would have lights like these, but they'd be a lot bigger. These are just the mini version, and so they have ooh, those lines are weird. They would have this, I think it's called alabaster, this white glass, and I opted for the brass. I could have gotten silver, and I kind of wish I did, the chrome, because that would actually make more sense with the bar edging and the whole 50s kind of theme. But for some reason I was thinking the 60s, and I don't know, when I ordered it I just wasn't thinking. So they're brass, or oil rubbed bronze or brass, but they're that gold color. Back behind the bar, I lined the shelves with some old wallpaper that I had on hand from an auction, and so they really nicely brighten up the area and make it look nice. And here's the other side of that little kick wall. We've got plugs back here to use, and then this operates the pendant lights, and they're on a dimmer as well. I also had them the electrician put in another outlet right here, because I figured it being a bar, this might be a great place here for a refrigerator. Not that we need a refrigerator right here, but I was just planning ahead. So I think it would make a lot of sense to have a smaller refrigerator right there, especially like a retro one would be really, really cool. Since we're over here by the bar area, I'm gonna wrap around this corner real quick. Oh, and explain something. This brown paneling was already there. That is the existing bathroom for the basement. And this wall right here, I built to enclose the stairs. So we used this honey-colored pattern, this stuff here, and I was originally thinking I was going to paint that, but I since decided I'm not, because I like how it actually is almost the same color as the stairs. It's that same kind of brown color. So I'm gonna keep it. We need to wash it off because I was a little rough with it earlier in doing stuff, so I got paint on it in some places, so we need to wash that. This is a pantry, which I have not seen in a while, so I don't know how dysfunctional it is right now. We keep overstock paper goods here, and then we keep just dry goods over here, like so. And then, let's see. All right, around this corner over here, we have these really cool lights. These are vintage, and this is what I use to create, this is how I decided upon what exact shade of mint green to use. So there's the mint green, it wraps around this corner too, and then here's the lights, and I wish it was brighter over here. Maybe if I turn on, it doesn't really help, does it? Well, hold on, let me see about, again, doesn't really help, but they are like a mint green color as well. And I bought these on eBay for, I want to say $40. It was $40, I think, plus shipping, so it was like $48, and I really, really like them. So they kind of blend in with that whole 40s, 50s look to it. Okay. And really, I'm not actually going after any specific date down here. I'm just sort of going by this era of feeling that I like, which is 40s, 50s, 60s kind of vibe. So I guess I like to pretend that I bought this house new, and I've lived in it for 20 years, just kind of updating it over time, but that never actually happened. It's well, let's pretend that's the idea that I'm going for with the 40s, 50s, 60s theme here. And then this is the bathroom. This bathroom was done a lot earlier than everything else, but there's some unique things going on in here. This is actually what we used to wash the dog, this shower stall. When we bought the house, originally all the shower was this little brick kick wall right here. This right up top here was not there. There was no ceiling, there was no bar, none of that. It was just, actually it had one of those curving shower curtains things to contain the water into that stall. So it was just that concrete there and that concrete little lip right there. So what I wanted to do was put this plexiglass here to create more of a nicer looking bathroom. So we put this piece of plexi here. That was kind of hard to figure out how to cut. And then I put this column right here to help contain this piece. And this column also serves as a bar for the shower curtain. This is actually, or for the rod. This is not a shower curtain rod. This is what you'd use in a window it's something about security in a window. But I needed it because I wanted to be able to use this window over here without blocking it permanently. So if you just take, yeah, this is sloppy. If you just take it and put it like that, you can retract somehow. Oh, I think you have to do something with, oh, there we go. One-handed is hard. You push this down and in. All right, so this now retract, and then this whole bar can angle up on this hinge so that this window can be opened if it needs to be. So that's just kind of something I use just for practical reasons. And that's the shower. And other than that, there I am. Other than that, this mirror here hides a water shut-off thing behind it that we had to put in because the house didn't come with one. And you might notice that there's two different colored lights in there. And that is because this color is too white for me and that color is too gold for me. So I like to have a mixture, and I just didn't ever buy the correct bulb that would make sense for that. The unfinished side is over here, and this is sort of, we don't really worry about it. This is my idea of a sink. Because gravity has to be on our side with this sink, I built this pedestal, and that's the reason why it's up so high. It's very annoying, but you'll see that the drain pipe is that high, and it's very thick metal, and the correct way would be to actually cut it down way there at the bottom, sort of, and then create a Y pipe that would branch off one direction this way and one direction that way, essentially, for the washer dryer and the sink. Behind all the finished walls out there is this styrofoam. So it's styrofoam sheeting that helps to minimize the moisture control, and it also helps with the insulation. There's actually no batt insulation behind the walls. There is batt insulation up in here where it's tighter, and I think that's R11 if I had to guess. Control panel pretty much maxed out now. This is the back side of my Etsy room. This is the side that you don't see. So my Etsy room is just over there. And then we've got this middle wall down the center. And one reason that my Etsy room is the size that it is because of these pipes. We do have this pipe going right through here, which is contained in a bulkhead right through there. But if we were to come out any farther this way into this room, what you'd run into up here is you've got pipes that are below the joists. So that would have to be addressed, and that was sort of annoying. Another reason is that some of these pipes, specifically these, are condensation lines. They tend to want to drip every now and again, and that's very bad if you put any sort of ceiling underneath that. Just with condensation, these will drip, and they do drip still. So that we had to make sure that the wall was clear of that. This is remnants of where I was originally going to put a closet for this room. It didn't end up happening because I figured it was a lot of trouble and we don't really need a closet for that room. But it was originally going to come out this far, just shy of that, come through there. It was going to dip down in here, come back up through here, and then actually it was going to return over here. So it was going to be, I think, about a 4 foot by 2 foot, or a 4 foot by 18 inch closet, which is a pretty nice size, but it was a lot of hassle trying to work around things and get it to work for what it was. So we just keep tools and things in here. Kind of a lot of just things that I don't really use a whole lot, but they do come in handy when we do need them, I guess. We have these cabinets right here. I don't know if, yeah, let me go to the other side of them. This is becoming a very in-depth tour here. These cabinets here came from the ceiling upstairs in the kitchen. Originally, these were above the island that separates the kitchen and the dining room. And these are 2 foot cabinets, meaning, and if you know this, that the base cabinets are also 2 feet. So what that means is if you're standing right up against the counter and you look straight ahead, these would be right in your face. There's no room to lean forward at all. So these are the exact same depth as your base cabinets. That was a big concern for me. I did not like it. They hung down way too low. You had to duck a lot in order to even see under them. So we decided to take them out. And that's a big section of cabinets. So we did lose a little bit of storage. But if I ever do a tour upstairs or anything, I might go over what we did to alleviate some of the storage. But these came out. What I want to do is actually mount them. This is the front side. The back side's over on the other side. Is mount them right up against this wall, which would make them go right across from the washer and dryer. And eventually, I'd like to put like a little island right in the middle for whatever, just things that we need to use it for, that I don't want to use the kitchen table upstairs for. Actually, I was going to use that table. This is our old table from my previous house. And this is just a really dusty table. So that's probably what we'll use right in the center. and it's counter height. So that's kind of nice. So that's this room. This is a very old Williamson furnace, and it's original to the house. In very nice shape. You know, I hear, apparently people around here, I've heard a story that someone waxes their furnace. They like wax and wash that metal casing. And so yeah, people do that, not me. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go to the rest of the basement now. So there's just a hodgepodge of mixture of things in here. Some Etsy items that are too big to fit in my room are right there. This is a nice mid-century record thing, record player, and AM, FM stuff. The record player doesn't work though, and the speaker is kind of noisy. It's kind of makes that static noise sometimes, intermittently. That's just a lamp that I got at an auction one time for $1, and I don't know what to do with it. And it's actually missing the lighting housing, so it's sort of a project, I guess. This is a table that is inherited from Aaron's grandma, and the chairs were way too messed up to keep them. They were slashed and torn in every area, and that's really expensive to try to repair them. And even the legs of the chrome legs were kind of rusty, a lot more rusty than it's worth. So we ended up scrapping the chairs, and we just have the table. There is a leaf that goes along with this somewhere, but it actually is, because it's so old, the leaf is lighter gray than this, so it's really not a great look whenever the leaf is in, because it's, you know, they never use the leaf. People don't ever use them, so when you do put them in, they look so much newer than the rest of the table. But it's just a nice little table, and it's chrome, and it fits nicely right there. Things on top, the lamp is listed online, and that globe is listed online. The rest I need to figure out what to do with. This is a storage closet that we use for all of our personal things. And this was originally open shelving in the basement, meaning, so all this wood shelving was already here, and that's the original concrete back there. R11, batting is, yeah, all up in there. And we just keep extra storage items in here. Here's my Christmas stuff and some Halloween right there, and then these are all Christmas items back in there. And we have our sparkler pom-pom tree. We have our regular, we have a regular 4.5 inch, half foot tree, and then we have our regular tree. I forget what the size is, like 6 feet or whatever it is. And then I have all my nice ornaments in here. And we actually have a lot more storage left. We've got a lot more storage on that shelf and on this top shelf. We don't play those games. And yeah. And then an extra dog carriage thing. So that's covered up and I don't have to look at it. Over here is where we would put a train display if we did, in this little alcove back here. I'll back up. And I think it would work nicely. The idea would be that it would come out to about here, this wall, and it would come along here, maybe dip behind this pole, or somehow maybe even still go in front of it. And then it would, let's see, where am I at? It would come around here, and then it would maybe do a little bump out right here, come back, go straight, do another bump out in through here, and then return back over here. That is just a rough idea. The reasoning for those couple bump outs is maybe to put a train, I don't know the words, but where you house all the trains and you want them to go their places. Yeah, so this is the train area if there was to be one. There's a sign and a little Lionel Train magazine thing. All the lights are recessed LED, so that's nice. And this back here is on its own switch, and it's also on a dimmer. So that's fun. just turn that off. And then there's actually another switch over here if I wanted to turn off all the lights behind me like that, you know, if I was coming into the Etsy room, which is right here. You've seen the Etsy room before. I've done a little work since my Etsy tour video. I put this shelf up here. This is like, well, I guess you'd call it a live edge shelf. It's essentially just a board that's been planed down, and you got more of a natural edge on the front. And so the only thing on this up here that's not mine or listed is those Bozo glasses. That's something that I keep because I really like it. It's a game. You throw these plastic balls into the windows and they kind of break, and then there's two metal clips that hold it up on the ground. And then just some little jars and things that I don't know what to do with, and I just don't want to get rid of. I've got my rolling cart, my intake table, photo table, Tide2Go pin. These are my new labels that I got. It's a whole bunch of them because I'm running out. Got pre-sliced plastic wrap. It already is perforated, but I go ahead and roll out and tear a whole stack of it so I have it on hand. My computer. I keep my Pyrex bowls up here that I really enjoy with the hot air balloons. I've got a salt lamp right there. Keep extra boxes down there. My roll of blank newsprint that I get for free at the newspaper printer place. Printer network to there. The big roll of bubble wrap, extra boxes for like larger things. I buy those at Walmart. They're not very pricey. They're around $1, less than $2. Keep extra pieces of cardboard in the corner along with some newspaper there. And I keep another thing of newspaper there. And then of course all of my stock is all over these shelves. And then all over these back shelves. I try to keep like items together. That's something that I do to help me know where things are, because I don't always remember where I put things. So there is a sort of an idea, but it's of where things are, but they're all located in places that make sense to me. So if I gave you any tip, it would be to pick something that works for you, that is logical, so you can help locate the things that you're looking for when they do sell. Something that I've been wanting to do and still haven't got around to doing is labeling my boxes for the small items that I have, because sometimes I don't know which one it's in when it sells, and it's annoying to have to sort of hunt through and find something that's sold that's small. So that's something that I wish I could do, but I just don't feel like doing it ever. So yeah, that's just all my inventory there. And I do keep some Afghans down in there and some bins. I keep more of them upstairs in a spare room that technically need to come down here. But this is the basement, you know, it's a work in progress like usual. I have not done any soft decor stuff. It's all still kind of in the hard decor mode, meaning it's all structural, and I can't really get too designy, you know, putting furniture and stuff. As far as furniture goes, I'd like to put a couch over in this area somewhere, but that would be something that I would find at an auction or very, very cheaply somewhere, but it has to be the right style, so I'm okay with waiting for that. And I'd like to get a nice rug right in through here to help soften this area. This table would have to be fine, I guess. And I'd like to get some mid-century stools right up through here. And then just sprinkle in some older non-mid-century items, probably a curio cabinet or two, and just create more of a dynamic look with it. a more eclectic look. I do like mid-century, but I tend to find that if you use it primarily and only primarily, it will look very stark and very overly clean and sterile. Right now, this basement is on the edge of that, but with some techniques to help warm it up, I think that it will be a little bit better. But I am very happy with the way this floor turned out. It's a very budget-friendly thing to do. It is literally just the paint chips that you sprinkle down on the wet paint, and as it dries, it just locks into place. But yeah, I've been really happy with the way that this basement's been turning out so far. Lots of cleanup to do, still little minor touch-ups here and there, but I'm really happy with the way the stairs turned out. And I also put one more thing, I put a closet in the end of this hall over here, just for some extra storage off of this bathroom over here. So we keep just random extra things that, you know, have no other place right now. So we keep those in there. But it's a good supplement to this bathroom that doesn't really have a lot of storage in it. It's mostly just, you know, the what you see is what you get with that. But anyways, that's all we've got. So I hope you liked the video. It was very long and intense, but maybe you got some ideas of things that you'd like to do in your basement or your space. Let me know in the comments below what you thought was the favorite thing that you liked. And yeah, subscribe, comment, and like. Bye-bye.